Good morning. Today I'm going to be giving you the ultimate guide on the Fairycore aesthetic. If this is the first video you've clicked on of mine, hi, welcome to my channel. I'm excited that you're here. I do a bunch of these videos. I've done the cowgirl aesthetic, mermaid core aesthetic, skater girl aesthetic, cottage core, you name it, I've probably done it, and I'm going to continue doing these videos because I love just yapping for like 2 hours pretty much. Now before we get into the video, I just want to apologize. I don't really like filming these in my room, just because I feel like a lot of my videos are mainly in my room, obviously. I like to kind of go down into the lounge room, but we've got painters currently. This is what we're working with. They've put tape everywhere. And scary men are outside. They're actually not scary. They're actually really, really sweet. But they can't be getting the ultimate guide. I don't think they deserve it. And they would want to hear it, to be honest. So I'm sitting up in my room, hopefully that they don't like walk past. And I like, what the hell is she doing? Anyway. Before we get into the video, I want to apologise because my outfit is not giving fairy core. I guess the earthy greens are, and I've got these really cute little fairy earrings. Anyway, in today's video, I'm going to be giving you the ultimate guide on the fairy core aesthetic. Where to buy clothing, footwear, makeup, celeb inspo looks. And I'm really excited to just yap with you and have a really nice relaxed morning. You may be asking yourself, Molly, what is fairy core? What is it? I'm here to tell you. According to Google, the Fairycore aesthetic is centered on fairy and elf-like creatures, drawing inspiration from nature, soft pastels, butterflies, magic, flowers, and springtime vibes. It often has a lot of visuals and whimsical elements. I love Fairycore. It's such a fun, wholesome, magical aesthetic, and I just think, why not embrace these fun little aesthetics in your everyday life? Before we do more of a deep dive in the Fairycore aesthetic, I wanted to mention I've also done a video on cottagecore aesthetic. Cottagecore is quite similar, but I feel like to me it more celebrates rural living and how to kind of romanticize that, where Fairycore is more about the fairies, the mystical aspects, and celebrating like wilderness and that sort of thing. I feel like you can draw inspiration from both of these aesthetics, but I will link my cottagecore video down below if you want to watch that next. Here are some pictures off Pinterest that give you the perfect Fairycore aesthetic color palette. I feel like it's very earthy tones, but then also mixed in with soft pastels. Let's get into the clothing side of the Fairycore aesthetic. I also wanted to mention like fairy grunge as well, because I feel like you can draw inspiration from more of the like pastel lighter vibe Fairycore, and then you can also do fairy grunge, which is more muted tones, greys, earthy greens. I'm sorry, I hope that made sense. I've really got bad word diarrhea at the moment. I just need more of this, hang on. To me, the Fairycore aesthetic is very old-fashioned yet romantic. I feel like it's drawing inspiration from kind of like a dreamlike state, I would say. I feel like it's a lot of like long skirts, ribbons, and it's very just like playful and fun. A staple to me to achieve the Fairycore aesthetic would be a skirt, whether it's kind of like a long ruffled skirt, whether it's one that's a little bit shorter at the front and then longer at the back. I think these really give off the Fairycore vibe. The next thing that I would add to my wardrobe is any sort of singlet, whether that's a halter neck or spaghetti strap, that look like this. I love the halter neck and singlet style like this because I feel like you can wear it with those long white skirts, or you can wear it with jeans. You can kind of style it in so many different ways. I don't have anything in my wardrobe that gives off this Fairycore look, and I'm dying to go shopping, whether that's to a store or thrifting, and try to find something similar. But I also feel like overall with this aesthetic, it's all about layering and adding like little accessories to kind of elevate the look. The next item I would add to my Fairycore wardrobe would be a corset, whether that's a pink, white, or like a nice earthy green. Here are some examples of dresses that I absolutely adore off Pinterest. Like, I want them all. I really want them all. Whether that's kind of like a colourful one that's ruffled and a bit like sequiny, or like a plain white dress, I feel like definitely gives off Fairycore, especially when you're just like posing around in nature. You can agree or disagree with me on this, but I feel like combining green and pink together with clothing is so fun, and I feel like that gives off Fairycore aesthetic to me. It's giving Wicked, and that is so magical, and I still haven't seen the movie, so don't come for me. I'm like such an Ari fan and I still haven't seen it. I'm actually kind of doing that today. You can't really see my eyeshadow anymore, it's kind of come off, but I'm wearing green and I got pink on my eyes. Clothing accessories I would add to my Fairycore wardrobe would be a brown chunky belt. Love. I feel like this looks perfect with a skirt or even a dress. I would also be adding scarves. I feel like a brown little scarf or a green one kind of just elevates the look, and as I said before, I feel like layering is really big with this aesthetic. Any cute little gloves, like the fingerless gloves that we used to wear as kids. Fairycore. And I would also be adding any sort of loungewear or sleepwear that's got any floral prints on it, and it's just cozy and comfy. Next up is footwear. I love a heeled boot, and I feel like brown boots for this, black, or even like a dark green look really cute. Here's some ones off Pinterest that I found. I also love Doc Martens, and I feel like this is very Fairycore aesthetic, and I need to add them to my wardrobe. I've got like the normal, like these, why am I holding it like this? I've got the like the festival style Doc Martens, but I want the like school shoe looking Doc Martens. They're really cute. I don't know what they're actually called, but I think that's very Fairycore. And then if you add like little lacy socks or even stockings as well, forgot to mention that before. And then lastly, heels that have any sort of like flowery fairy element to it, like these. Oh my god, how gorgeous are they? I would die wearing them, but they're so pretty. Because I have no idea what I've said for the last hour and I don't know if I've given you any good advice, here's some ultimate guides that I found off Pinterest that kind of give you inspiration of how you can style this Fairycore aesthetic, and if you've got any elements similar in your wardrobe that you can pull from. Next up, we're talking makeup. I feel like for this Fairycore aesthetic, it's light greens, shimmery eyeshadows, pinks, or a combination of both. I love when people do like the winged, drawn out, like fairy butterfly wings or fairy wings on their eyes. I love that. I also love like the flowery eyelashes. They're so cute. Oh my god, like I wish I was creative enough or like in the creative industry to have like cool makeup like that done to me. I think it's just so pretty. For the eyeshadow of Fairycore aesthetic, I did say like greens and pinks, but I also feel like a light purple, like a lavender purple, any sort of like soft pastel tones would look really good. Oh, actually, I have this palette from Morphe. It's the Ice Fantasy 351, and I feel like these shades are perfect to kind of go for the Fairycore aesthetic. I put this light pink on my eyes this morning, but I feel like whenever I'm wanting to do like a soft pastel look, this palette is really good to use. Another makeup look I really love that I think achieves the Fairycore aesthetic in my opinion is like the white eyeliner. Say overall for the Fairycore makeup, it's very natural, heavy on blush and highlight, and then focusing on your eyes. I think it's definitely less is more, and it's not caking on a lot of makeup. Also, I feel like any sort of glossy lip, I've got Fenty, but I'm wanting to add Ari's makeup into my collection as well because I feel like she is perfect with that. But any sort of glossy lip, that's what I feel best suits this makeup aesthetic. Next up, we're talking all things jewelry for the Fairycore aesthetic. To me, the first thing that comes to mind is any sort of crystal jewelry. I'm not really heavy on that, but I am wearing, I just put it on, this really cute little crystal necklace that one of my clients gave me. I'm not sure what this one means. He did tell me, but I forgot. I'm not really the type of girly that wears crystal jewelry, but I do appreciate it and love it when people can rock it. I did have some really cool rings from my friend Brooke with her small business, Kissed by Summer, which I've mentioned in like all my other videos. She did like some cool crystal rings at one point, but I don't know if she's continued them, and I don't know where mine are. But I love when people have that vibe about them with like all the cool like crystal rings and like they've just layered it on. I'm more of a silver gold girly, as I've mentioned and yapped on about I think in every video so far this year. I'm trying to elevate my jewelry and I feel like I'm getting there. I've got like gold and silver going on. I think you can either pick which one you think best suits you, or you can combine it like myself. But I kind of want to add more crystals into my jewelry. I think that could be fun. I've got a cool like little rose quartz crystal ball. Let me show you. I've had these for so long. I got this like for graduation. This is giving Fairycore, isn't it? Rose quartz. What does rose quartz mean again? And then this little guy. How cute! I love it. I should put these on display actually, but I think they're really cute. I got given them when I was younger and I just keep them. But I could add some more crystals. I need to know, crystal girlies, do you charge your crystals? Like, what's the whole vibe about that? Because maybe that can become my new hobby. Collecting crystals and charging them and like giving positive vibes around me would be nice. I'm so bad at this. I've just googled what does rose quartz mean. It's the opening of the heart, promoting love, forgiveness and connection, helps remove negative energy and replaces it with loving vibes. Oh, I'm all about that. Supporting spiritual alignment and fostering deep connection to the universe. Okay, crystals are going to become my new hobby. Next up, we're going to be talking hairstyles, messy buns, braids, plaits within their hair, any sort of like cool accessories you can add in. I love when people put flowers or like implement some sort of nature in their hair like this. That would be so hard to do, but it looks incredible. Next up, we're going to be talking about the Fairycore home decor. First thing that comes to mind, we just spoke about it, is crystals. Any type of candles that suit your fancy or room spray. I've been loving my room spray at the moment. I feel like it's just so nice and it smells delicious. And who doesn't want a home that smells nice? The next home decor essential would be any sort of indoor plants. I love peace lilies. I love the monstera plants. I love any palm plants because they're easy to take care of. I love flowers. I love having them in my room when Brandon gives me flowers. Just hinting that. And I just think they just brighten up the space and you instantly feel better when there's plants or flowers around you. And it's also really nice to kind of take care of something else, and it's like a nice self-care ritual, I find, and it's very therapeutic. If you want to get creative, you know what you could do? You could make your own little wind charm to have outside of your room or on your front porch or something, and then you could also do like a dream catcher. I used to love my dream catcher. Bring those back. Let's bring them back. I apologize about Alfie. I need to play with him soon, so I'm going to try to rapid speed this up a little bit. The next thing I would add is any sort of like fairy prints or artwork. You can find a bunch of them on Pinterest and Etsy, and I think they would look really nice as like a cute little display. I've also done a deep dive on some books because I feel like when I was a kid I would just read very fairy-like books, and these are some ones that come to mind. Obviously, Rainbow Magic books. These were the shit in primary school, and I remember loving them so dearly. The Winx Fairy Club, bring that back. Gumnut Babies, I used to love this as a kid too. I remember mum reading it to me. I feel like these books are just so nostalgic and definitely are Fairycore aesthetic. Okay, next up we're going to be talking celebrity icons that kind of give Fairycore aesthetic to me. The first one that comes to mind is Clairo. She is just very naturally pretty, and I feel like just everything about her presence and her energy gives Fairycore in a way, and I love it. I also think Bibi Doobie, she gives very Fairycore vibes. Next would be Peach. I found her on TikTok randomly, like not even with her music, but she is so Fairycore to a T. Like I think that's like her whole overall brand, I would say. She gives Fairycore. And I think I need to listen to her music more because I think I would really like it. Next is any sort of Met Gala looks that were, I think last year. The one that Ari was in, this one, she gives Fairycore here. And the whole theme was kind of like a mystical, magical, fairy-like theme for Met Gala, wasn't it? Or was it like nature or something? Here are some playlists that I found that definitely give Fairycore aesthetic. I love clicking on these different types of playlists that people create. It's so fun, and you just find so many different artists and new ways to kind of make your day-to-day routine more fun. Like when I do these types of videos, I then try to incorporate it into my day-to-day life. Like when I did the Barbiecore aesthetic, I did a Barbiecore morning routine, and I was just playing one of the Spotify playlists that was created. And it was such a vibe. I would highly recommend. Next we're going to be talking Fairycore activities. The first one that comes to mind is a picnic. Love a little picnic moment. And I think these are really cute also to have for like a birthday, or kind of do like a garden party themed birthday would be really fun with like low lighting. Can have all the girlies over, like do some painting. Next would be reading or journaling. I reckon take yourself out on a little cute solo date and go to the park and make your favourite drink or buy your favourite drink and sit there and just read a nice book and take some time for yourself. Next activity would be riding a bike. I used to have the best bike ever, and I was silly and just left it outside, and it's like rusted, and now it's just a part of the garden out the front. But it's this baby blue bike that has a basket on it, and I was and still am obsessed with these bikes. I think I'm honestly gonna have to rebuy one later on in life where I live not in a hilly area, because it's so cute and it's giving Fairycore. The next activity you could do is any sort of colouring. I have the Bobby Goods colouring book, which I adore. It definitely has a magical element to it, and it's just really fun doing something that you used to do so often as a kid. Also got making flower crowns with your girlies, or you could do flower pressing. These are such fun little activities to do. I want to host a fairy garden party. That would be so fun. You know what you could do? You could do like a little treasure hunt that's kind of not murder mystery vibes, but it could be very similar, I guess. And you could create your own and do it with family or friends. The last little activities I have are sewing, knitting, gardening, or doing tarot cards, or getting your palms read. I want to do that again. Okay, the painters are getting aggressively loud outside and I think someone's cutting down a tree. So I'm going to be doing my research now on where you can buy these Fairycore items from, whether that's clothing, little activities you could maybe look at doing, or any decor items that you want to kind of implement into your room or your house or your space. Okay, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed my ultimate guide to the Fairycore aesthetic. I just love doing these videos and I really hope you enjoy watching them. I really enjoy putting them together and feeling inspired afterwards. So I hope it inspires you guys as well, or you've learned something. I don't know. But I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you very soon for another fun video. Let me know what aesthetic you want to see next. And if you haven't watched my other videos on the ultimate guides, I will have some of them linked down below. Thank you so much for watching if you stuck around to the end, and I love you, bye!